Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Roshni and I'm an international educated nurse living here in Ontario. If you are an IEN who is navigating through the CNO registration process, then today's video is going to be super helpful for you. We'll talk about SPEP, which stands for Supervised Practice Experience Partnership, which is one of the most accessible and popular options for IEN to meet the CNO registration requirement without going back to school full time. So grab your notebook because we're diving deep into the process, the eligibility, timeline, placement setting, tips, and everything else you need to know. Let's talk eligibility. You are eligible for SPEP if you have applied to CNO and completed the initial assessment process. You've been assessed and told that you do not meet one or both of the following requirement, which is number one, evidence of practice, and number two, language proficiency requirement. You can meet both of these requirements by completing your SPEP program. You must also make sure that your nursing education is met and CNO did not tell you to go to complete a different breathing program or complete your nursing education, then you are eligible to complete SPP. You must also make sure that you have completed your REXPN examination because this will allow you to work under supervision during SPEP. It's also very important to understand that CNO determines your eligibility to complete SPEP. You cannot apply directly to Ontario Health for this. Once CNO determines that SPEP is appropriate for you, they will send your details, your information to Ontario Health directly, who will then determine and look into the placement side of things. During SPP, you will be placed in a clinical setting, mostly hospital or long-term care, depending on your choice of location and your availability. You'll be paired with a regulated nurse preceptor, usually an RN or RPN, depends on which category you are applying for. And you will be in direct or indirect supervision of the preceptor. Depending on your progress, they will evaluate your clinical skills, your nursing judgment, your adherence to the nursing policies and standards of the Ontario healthcare system. You will also be practicing independently or depending on the nurse preceptor, depending on what level you are and what kind of clinical knowledge and judgment that you show during the SPP placement. At the end of the placement, the preceptor and the organization will evaluate your performance and they will send it directly to CNO. CNO will then, based on the feedback that they receive from the hospital and the organization that you were completing your SPP, will determine if you have successfully made the evidence of practice and or language requirement. SPP placement typically lasts for 140 to 300 hours depending on your level of clinical performance, and also it totally depends whether you are completing full-time or part-time, and also it depends on the individual needs. During SPP, you will be functioning as a nurse under direct supervision of your preceptor. Your responsibility includes patient assessment, therapeutic communication, medication administration under supervision or depends on which level you are at, patient-centered care, collaboration and communication, and also infection prevention and safety measures. Your preceptor will evaluate you based on CNO's entry to practice competency, which includes professionalism and ethics, clinical decision making, safe and competent care as well. I want to tell you guys that I also completed SPP program back in 2022 because my evidence of practice was expired, and due to COVID there were a lot of things that was going on, so I was not able to complete my registration requirement in order to become registered practical nurse here in Ontario. So CNO emailed me saying that I was eligible to complete SPP program. I waited some time and I received a phone call from one of the long-term cares in the area that I was living in. They asked me to work for them and they did not offer me any pay, which was something I did not want to do. So I went on myself to apply to multiple hospitals that were closer to me, and some of them were farther. So I did apply to two hospitals. One was closer to me and then the other one was like 3 hours away from where I lived. And the one which was closer, they did not accept me, and then I received offer from the hospital that was 3 hours away, but they were offering me a really good pay because it was just a start. And then I was very excited and I wanted to complete my SPP as soon as possible and get my license. So I moved to another city and went in there, started doing my SPP. And after I completed my SPP, they did offer me a job, but I already had a government job. SPP is truly one of the best options available for international educated nurses. Some of the key benefits are no tuition and academic costs required. You can complete SPP in a relatively short time. It helps you gain opportunity to work in the real Canadian system. It supports both RNs and RPNs, and sometimes you also get paid to complete your placement, so that's a really plus point for IENs. You may also receive a job offer after the placement, so this is really a great opportunity. It helps meet registration requirements without going back to school. It's a true bridge between Canadian registration and international experience. If you are preparing for SPP, here are some of my personal tips to succeed. Always stay updated with the CNO standards and entry to practice competencies. Be flexible with your locations because this will help you get placed faster. Polish your communication and documentation skill. Be professional when you are working, and always show willingness to learn, your adaptability and your initiative. Always make sure you have your reflective journal because this will help during the evaluation. Respect your preceptor's feedback because they are there to support you and guide you. Remember that your attitude, willingness to learn, and how you engage in this experience really matters. That's it for today's deep dive into SPEP. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you do not miss any updates from this channel. If you guys have more questions, please drop your question in the comments. I am always happy to share what I've learned throughout my journey. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. Wishing you guys all the best in your own nursing journey. Have a good day.